Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you and your families. Today we are going to be addressing a misconception that the Quran has made a scientific error, and they will refer to in the Quran chapter 86 verses 6 to 8.
Wrong. The Quran claims that semen is formed between the backbone and ribs, Surah 86 verses 6 to 7.
خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر.
8. He was created from a fluid ejected, emerging from between the backbone and the ribs. Indeed, Allah to return him to life is able. Now, if you look at classical Islamic scholars and exegesis on these verses, you will realize the Muslims never understood it in the way that the misconception portrays these verses, claiming that the Quran says sperm is produced from between the backbone and the ribs. For example, the word for backbone here, which is referring to loins in Arabic, is sulb. Now, the ribs, the Arabic word is tara'ib, which is an ancient Arabic word used to ascribe to a female in that time generally, nothing to do with the male anatomy. And it's a poetic way and a nice way of saying that man is made from fluid that is emerging from, not produced from, but emerging from the loins and the ribs, i.e. the male and the female, and then after life he dies and Allah is able to bring him back. Okay, so it shows the humility of the human being. It is said the reason why tara'ib, ribs, was referring to females is because of the story of Adam and Eve, and the Arabs believed in that story where Eve was created from the ribs of Adam, hence the nickname. The word also used in Arabic from a fluid, created from a fluid, is ma', and that means water or fluid. The word for sperm in Arabic is nutfa or mani. Now you can have an experiment. Go to a shop, an Arabic shopkeeper, and ask him for a bottle of ma', and he'll give you a bottle of water.
Thank you, I'll come again.
You can go again and ask for a bottle of nutfa or mani, and you'll get a different reaction.
Thank you for coming. I'll see you in hell.
And this is it. This is literally a very simple explanation that Muslims have always understood it as. So please always refer to the literal academic work and not some random unqualified people who are just trying to maybe confuse you on purpose or misunderstood it themselves without looking into Islamic sources, which is an obvious thing that they should have really. All the meanings of the words can also be checked in classical dictionaries. For example, like Edward Lane's lexicon. Anyone else who interprets it differently will need to provide backing from classical dictionaries explaining the words that they've used. However, if they were to say that this is referring to the male and only the man and nothing to do with the female, and they're choosing to ignore all the Islamic sources throughout history, and therefore the Quran has made a scientific error, well, first of all, it says fluid. Therefore, it's referring to the semen, not the sperm, which is mani or nutfa. And in regard to the semen, that consists 2 to 5% only of sperms, and 95 and 98% of the semen is actually other ingredients. So 2% to 5% of the fluid is produced in the testes, which then travels through the vas deferens into the body in an upward motion. Then the rest of the fluid that's produced and stored in the seminal vesicles and prostate glands gets added, which is from between the backbone and the ribs. Hence the Quran is still correct in saying what it is saying. And this is the beauty of the Quran, is that in its language it can be understood in the 7th century understandings of science, cosmology, etc. And in a multidimensional way, without changing its language, it can still be understood in the 21st century from a scientific point of view and a cosmological point of view. And this shows the uniqueness of the Quran, no other book, no other at least religious book that claims to be from God exists in this way. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you and your family.